Welcome back to Out of Breath Sports and more. We about to get into this video. Charles Barkley checks LeBron and KD for disrespecting Michael Jordan's era. You know, if you disrespect Michael Jordan's era, you disrespect Larry Bird and Magic Johnson as well. Anybody that came before that. And if you didn't know, I'm DtaeNoDinero, and I watch a lot of old school basketball players. And I ain't gonna lie, them boys can hoop. So I'm curious to see what these guys was talking about, because we all know. Matter of fact, I'm going to save my opinions for the end of the video. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe with your notification bell on. We about to get into this video, y'all. Let's see what they talking about. And then let's see what Charles Barkley had to say about them making these silly comments. Silly!
Do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
You think it's funny?
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Well, some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's a contract I feel like you got to have with yourself, too, in order for you to be a, you know, great ball player or to have a long career. That's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. I tell you, that's the goal.
But that wasn't the goal.
I want to go on the court with the NBA. Where's Kevin Durant and his legacy? Is he being tarnished? Where are you at with him? You mentioned your top 7 guys. Where are you at with what's happened recently with Durant, with the Suns, and of course with Brooklyn?
Yeah, you know, Kevin's a great player. I think that his legacy is complicated. You know, I don't like any guys who join super teams. I'm biased against LeBron when it comes to comparing him to Michael, joining Dwayne and those guys. Because, you know, when we have this debate, and LeBron's amazing and spectacular, but I was like, Michael didn't join anybody. He just kept getting his ass kicked and got bigger and got stronger and finally knocked the wall down. And, you know, Kevin, who's a great player.
Yep.
You know, other than the fact when he joined the Warriors, he hasn't been successful anywhere else. And I don't hold that against him, but he wants to be considered in that list. He's not on that list. He's not on that list. He's a great, great player, but he's not on that list. He wants to be like, wow, he's not in a GOAT conversation, because you're not, plain and simple.
Damn.
You had great success when you joined the Warriors, but not only did you not have success, you actually flamed out in those other places. You got swept last year in the playoffs. You didn't even make the play-in this year.
Right.
Take it from here.
It started with a joke. Kevin Durant chuckled about Michael Jordan walking away from basketball to play baseball. LeBron James laughed alongside him. But what they didn't expect was a nuclear response from NBA legends, and it didn't take long. Charles Barkley had heard enough. In an era already defined by petty shots and disrespectful sound bites, Barkley didn't hold back. And what he said on national TV made headlines, because for the first time in years, someone finally pushed back on the LeBron-KD media machine. And what makes this even more shocking? The fact that Barkley wasn't the only one feeling this way. Because what happened next might signal a turning point in how today's stars get away with rewriting history. And to understand just how deep this rift runs, we need to look at what really went down with LeBron, KD, and why Jordan's era is suddenly under attack like never before. The mind the game disrespect. LeBron James and Kevin Durant didn't just laugh off history, they used it as a punchline. On their podcast, Mind the Game, KD made a flippant comment about players going to play baseball, clearly mocking MJ's departure from the NBA after his father's passing. It wasn't just tone deaf, it was downright ignorant. And what made it worse? LeBron was right there with him, cackling like it was the funniest thing he'd heard all week. No context, no acknowledgement of why Jordan actually left. Just empty jokes, wrapped in ego. But this moment wasn't an accident. It was part of a larger trend, where current players try to downplay the legends who came before them. And this pattern isn't new for LeBron. So how did we get here? Let's go back to when LeBron first began taking subtle shots at the past. LeBron's long history of erasing the 90's. You might remember the now infamous quote, "We done with the 90's." That's what LeBron said while breaking down modern defense with Durant.
20 years ago, shit, I was in the league. I thought you was about to say some shit about the 90's.
Only one of us was in the league.
Down with the 90's.
That team, that 90s bled into the early 2000s.
It sounded casual, But
Thank
make
you,
no
KD.
mistake, it was calculated. This isn't the first time LeBron has pushed the idea that Jordan's era was outdated, overrated, or somehow inferior. For years, LeBron and his media allies have been working to reframe the GOAT debate, not by building LeBron up, but by tearing the past down. Instead of praising Jordan's dominance, they attack his competition. Instead of respecting the grind of that era, they call it primitive. But here's the thing, the numbers don't lie. Jordan didn't leave his team for super teams. He stayed, he fought, and he won. But before we dive into that legacy, let's look at who finally stood up and said something. Charles Barkley enters the chat. Charles Barkley has always been outspoken, but this time he was surgical. In a recent interview, Barkley called out both LeBron and KD, not just for their comments, but for what they represent. He accused them of disrespecting the grind, of skipping the struggle, and most importantly, of chasing shortcuts to greatness. You want to be in the GOAT conversation? Barkley said. You're not. You joined super teams. Jordan didn't. That hit hard, because Barkley didn't say it to tear them down. He said it to remind them that respect is earned. And when you try to clown someone like Jordan, you better come correct. But Barkley didn't stop there. He questioned Durant's entire legacy. Outside of Golden State, what has KD really accomplished? He got swept in Brooklyn. He missed the play-in with the Suns. And all while trying to play alpha, he struggled to lead a team the way Jordan did year after year. And this leads to a question we have to ask. Why are today's stars so insecure?
Security? What am I insecure about?
Why would two of the most accomplished players of their generation, LeBron and KD, feel the need to mock Michael Jordan? The truth is, it's deeper than just ego. LeBron has been chasing the ghost of Jordan since day one, and with every passing year, as the 6 rings remain untouched, the pressure builds. The frustration leaks out. And now, it's turning into thinly veiled shots at an era he knows he can't match. KD?
Not again.
He's never really felt the love. Despite his talent, his biggest wins came with a team he didn't build. And deep down, he knows the fans, and even the legends, don't hold him in the same light as Jordan, Kobe, or even Steph. So what do you do when you can't catch the legends? You rewrite the narrative. But here's the problem. Not everyone's going along with the rewrite. And that brings us to something Barkley hinted at that might just come true. The coming backlash. There's an irony here. LeBron and KD are trying to diminish the past, but they're setting themselves up to be torn down in the exact same way once they retire.
Facts.
The very culture of disrespect they've encouraged is going to come for them next. The same media spin, the same online trolls, the same new generation of fans who didn't see them in their prime. They don't realize it now, but it's coming. Because if you make it cool to disrespect the greats, don't be surprised when the next wave calls you overrated.
Facts.
And that's why Barkley's message was so important. It wasn't just about protecting Jordan. It was about protecting the integrity of the game itself.
Morals.
And Barkley's core message was simple. You don't get to rewrite NBA history just because it doesn't help your legacy. You don't get to laugh at the 90s. You owe your career to them. But this wasn't just Barkley venting. There was something bigger beneath the surface. Because what LeBron and KD may not realize is, one day, they're going to be the ones getting disrespected. The era of disrespect will come full circle. Right now, LeBron and Durant are still in the league. They have power. They have platforms. They can shape narratives. But one day, sooner than they think, they'll be retired. And this new generation, they're watching. They're listening. And when it's their turn to make documentaries, podcasts, and hot takes, LeBron will be just another name to them. KD, another player they didn't grow up watching. And if the disrespect cycle keeps spinning, then they'll be the ones getting mocked. Which is exactly what Barkley hinted at. You tear down Jordan now, and you better be ready for what's coming. But what if that disrespect is already starting? What if the legacy LeBron is trying to protect is already cracking? LeBron's legacy is shifting, and fast.
I want the honesty.
Let's be honest. LeBron's recent behavior, launching a podcast, pushing narratives, calling himself the GOAT, it's not about celebrating the game. It's about protecting his image. From the GOAT conversation, to the "I never had help" excuse, to his constant need to be in the spotlight, even after 20 seasons. Barkley sees it, fans see it, and moments like this, moments where LeBron laughs at Jordan's pain, they're starting to undo years of respect. LeBron has always been a master at the media game, but when truth, emotion, and legacy collide, you can't spin your way out of it. And now, Barkley's not the only one calling it out. In a single podcast episode, LeBron James and Kevin Durant tried to rewrite history. They mocked an era that built the league. They joked about one of the most emotional decisions in basketball history, and they assumed nobody would challenge them. But Charles Barkley did. And now, the backlash has begun. Because disrespecting the 90s doesn't just make you look uninformed, it proves that the GOAT conversation isn't just about stats, rings, or longevity. It's about respect. And in that department, MJ still leads by a mile. If you respect basketball history and want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. We break down the real stories behind the narratives every single week. And let us know in the comments, did KD and LeBron go too far, or are fans overreacting? Either way, this debate is far from over.
I don't know. Very interesting. One thing I can't tell y'all for sure, two things for certain. If you just looked down a few seconds ago when I was moving the mouse, I hit the subscribe button when he asked me to, and I hit the like button when he asked me to. Wasn't that hard. It was just that simple. Took less than 10 seconds. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't hit the like button or subscribe yet, go ahead and take the time to do that. Now, I appreciate it. Turn your notification bell on or don't. But if you do, you'll be able to keep up with all the videos that we do in the future. Especially ones like this because, boy, do I got something to say. The disrespect coming from two of these highly classed professional basketball players is crazy, outrageous, and it needs to be stopped. The guy was absolutely right. This is going to come full circle. It's already been here. It's been here. LeBron has already been hearing that he's not the greatest of all time and he's overrated. Since 10 years ago, he's been knowing this. Of course, now at the end of his career, when he's about to be pushed out the door because he just can't hang with the young guys, he's going to try to push the narrative that he is the GOAT. And I didn't even think about the fact of the matter that instead of him playing better, all he has to do is just belittle the old school basketball players. And I wonder, does he encourage the younger NBA players that are coming into the league like Anthony Edwards to push the same narrative? I mean, they look up to people like LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Literally, Kevin Durant is Anthony Edwards' favorite basketball player. So this is going to come full circle. One day, Anthony Edwards is going to be 10 years into the league, and Kevin Durant is going to be 8 or 9 out of it. Anthony Edwards is going to look back on these times and going to speak about these times and say, man, I washed the floor. I washed the floor with you, Kevin Durant. What are you talking about? I'm better than him. He couldn't do nothing with me. I wasn't even in my prime yet. Sound just like y'all right now. See, the problem is that we're looking at two great basketball players who probably got so frustrated with the way that the script had to be played out for them in their careers because of the executives and people that had all the money, how they wanted to get their money back from their investments, that they just stopped really having so much love for the game the same way that they did before. And I'm talking about the way you have it when you look at those YouTubers that are trying to get to the NBA still. They play every game like it's their last still to this day. Now, yes, look like they both were about 18, 19. Man, doing this for 20-something, 30-something years. You know, you probably start around when you're in your early 10s, teenage years. So you probably got bad feet, back hurt, knees hurt. I get it. But you're professional. Carry yourself like one. Come on now, yo. That don't make no sense. The way that LeBron James, and really, my biggest issues with LeBron James, not even with Kevin Durant. I mean, obviously, we all know why Kevin Durant is the way he is. His career didn't pan out the way that it should have. And he know it should have played out a different way. He should have never left OKC. You let Russell Westbrook push you around. You should have you had a 3-1 lead against Golden State and and let them come back and beat y'all. The year you were supposed to win a championship with the team that you was never supposed to leave. You already knew what the hate looked like for LeBron James when he left Cleveland. That's why you didn't want to leave OKC in the first place. You did it at the point where you were so frustrated with the organization that you was like, so be it. I don't care what nobody think no more. I'm going to get me a ring because you know you need a ring to be considered a great. But unfortunately, the way you got your rings and the same way LeBron got his rings, the great conversation is iffy. It's iffy. We don't know. LeBron James' case is different from yours, KD. Yeah, you got the most points in the Olympics. Whoop-de-doo. But we haven't even started accepting the fact that Olympic gold medals aren't on the same level as rings. We haven't accepted it yet. It's getting there. Olympic gold medals might be more important than rings because now we see people would sell out their teams just for money. I'm just saying, if you're new to the channel, it's your boy DtaeNoDinero. I apologize. I was going somewhere with this. I hope what I said left a good impression with y'all. This isn't no hate towards anyone, even though I am not a huge fan of LeBron James, besides the fact that it matters that he's a great basketball player. I'm just not a fan. KD, on the other hand, I'm a huge fan. You just disappoint me all the time. It's your boy DtaeNoDinero. Peace, let's get it. Silly.
You complete me, but